Guys, welcome back to my new series. Let's talk about the trauma. Well, I get ready for bed. On this part, we're going to talk about trauma with my sister and I. So growing up with a little sister was interesting, I can say, for the most part. I loved my sister and I will always love my sister. However, my people pleasing messed up our relationship. So when we were younger, we were both heavily bullied. But I wasn't bullied as much as she was because one, I'm a lighter complexion than her, and with a bunch of colorism. My sister is not really dark skinned, but she's a darker tone than me and my mom was. Friends and our peers sort of seen that, and they would bully her a little bit more. My sister was very tough for the most part. She didn't take no shit from no one. She knew very well how to stand up for herself, and even me at times. She would stand up for me and fight my battles. I was very non-confrontational, just wanted to make friends and wanted everyone to like me. So as we got older, when kids used to bully her, I would like let them. I wouldn't say anything and they would pick on her and I wouldn't do anything. Me as a big sister, I had to do something, but like I didn't want to upset anyone, you know? Because I didn't want them to hate me, or I did not want to be hated or bullied like she was. I remember this one time we were on the bus. I was in 5th grade, she was in 1st grade. And this 4th grader literally kicked her in the stomach because she had mouth, you know, and she was sticking up for herself, like, you're not gonna be talking to me all types of way you treating me. So they held her, they held these other people on the bus, held both of her arms, and this 4th grader kicked her right in the stomach. To this day, it eats me up because I did not like that. I wanted to do something, but I didn't want to get in trouble, and I just did not want that. I was very non-confrontational. Big issue here, Chica, big issue. I didn't really start standing up for my sister until I got, I believe, in high school a little bit, because I got tired of people bullying her. So I would like just curse them out and stuff. I would snap them in because I just hit my breaking point. It was always awkward with us. We had to deal with our peers and everyday life. At home, she was always treated better because she was known to be the smart one. She was, let's say, the golden child. She was my mom's favorite. Still my mom's favorite. My mom is no longer living, but even on her deathbed, she didn't even ask for me. Where her daughter is, she wanted her other daughter, her baby girl. Growing up in the house with that, it did stuff to me. I'm not gonna lie, it did a lot to me mentally because she was raised to feel like she was a superior sister, you know? She won't say it, but her actions, you can tell she was, you know, because my mom always put her on a pedestal. Even some of my family members to this clear day, they'll put her on a pedestal. And I was always known as the black sheep, you know? I was the one my mom didn't really want to put effort into because she just sort of let the government, the schools, and all of the people decide my fate for me. My mom wasn't the type of person, you know, when your child get diagnosed with something, she's not like, oh, my child will have it. No, my mom was very much, well, to me, for me, she was very much, okay, do what you want. My sister also had issues too, you know, other than ADHD. And I told my mom that when she was very young because she showed signs. And my mom goes to me and looks at me and says, no, she's not gonna be like you. So she was the perfect child. And growing up, I don't know my sister's life, and I mean her story about her childhood, well, outside of when she was home, but I could tell that she had to hide a lot too, because the golden child, really, in order not goes through a lot too, because they're put, they have so much pressure to live up to what their parents expect of them or what family members expect of them. So she would hide a lot of stuff and sneak a lot of stuff. I kind of, you know, resented her a little bit because how she was raised. My mom made sure she had everything. And maybe it's because my mom was 22 when she had me and she didn't have her life together, especially after my dad got deported. She had to figure that shit out on her own. She didn't have any help at all. So I was maybe her little test baby, her little, you know, so I didn't get the same treatment that my sister got. And to this day, my sister has trauma, but it's not the same trauma that I had, that I didn't even know. And it's so crazy because we were in the same household. Everything. Talking about how she felt that she was very superior, meaning like you used to have to take the graduation test. It's like state required, they got rid of it. I didn't pass a few parts of mine, and she would like make fun of me, and she would be like, oh, I bet I can pass it. You are retarded and stuff like that. And she knew that word was so like a trigger for me because of what I went through in my life. And people not thinking I was very intelligent. So that word was such a trigger to me. So she would say that and joke about it and other things. So, or the smart one, she knew she was mom's favorite. I'll just say that. When we were outside of our house, maybe I wanted to take up for her. You know, that was my baby sister. You know, my mom was like, it's your job. You're the oldest. You have to make sure she's safe. And yeah, I wanted to take up for my sister and protect her. But another part of me, like, I felt outside of the house, I felt like I belonged, because in that house, I just felt like I existed. I felt like I was not really loved. She couldn't get rid of me, you know, and she didn't really care about me. I felt like my sister was her whole world. Growing up with that, it was tough, and because of that, I always wanted to sort of fit in, be an overachiever, so I could fit into spaces, and even though, like, I would shift my personality and try to fit into these spaces so people won't think that I'm that type of person. I think that's where that stems from, because my mom just like, well, you're not, with me, I just wasn't her favorite. And my sister was her favorite. She even told me, like, she playing for my sister, and she said, she's not playing for me. Like, it's just, now my mom is not here, so do not talk about her. Please, I love my mama. But her choices when I was a child really affected me to this day, and how I perceive my relationships, my partners, and just overall my overall mental. It did affect me, I'm not gonna lie. Later, before my mom passed, I even told her when I was on TikTok, you know, I was learning about how parents can be very narcissistic, very much about, I'm like, wow, I grew up like that. And I was calling my mom on her stuff, and she was like, she even had it on her Facebook. I have to find it for you guys, but I'll screenshot it if I find it. But she even has on there, oh, my daughter called me a narcissistic or something like that. Because yeah, I was calling her out, and I was trying to break free. I got tired of a lot of stuff, but anyways, it's not about my mom today. It's about me and my sister. But even with my sister relationships and her friendships, it's like she longs for a big sister. Like, all of her friends, not all of them, but some of her friends are like, she connects with people that's way older than her, and I feel in like on a sisterly way, and I feel like it's because of me, and she never got that bond with me, because in the house, instead of parents teaching sisters to be close, we were like, you know. So I didn't really get a bond with her like that, and I don't think she really even cared to bond with anything like that. I mean, we talk, you know, and but we're not as close as I want us to be, and I don't know why, but maybe that is why, because I feel like we need to talk about that conversation. But again, she has so much trauma, I don't even think she remembers a lot of stuff, because her brain sort of blocks it out, because she literally does not remember a lot. I asked her, and she's like, no, I don't remember that. So that's how bad her trauma is. But it's not my story to tell. Her trauma is hers. In the house, growing up with a sister and having narcissistic parents was not it, because they will put sisters against each other. A lot of people in my family tend to do that too. They tend to put sisters against each other. Like, they did my mom and her sister. I feel like they sort of put a rift between me and my sister. So they tend to do that. I wanted to talk about this because this is something that I want to heal from, to grow from, and stop thinking about my past. One thing about me, that's why I wanted to make this series, because sometimes flashbacks will come and then I'll start to feel very sad. If you're like me and you have a sister out there and your family sort of put rifts between your relationship, and it's somewhat mended, because at the end of the day, you guys are sisters, if they're not too toxic. If they're toxic and narcissistic, yeah, stay your distance. But if honestly family have put a rift between y'all, mend that relationship, because at the end of the day, when you don't have nobody, you're gonna have your sister. Friends, even some family members. Your sister has been there through all the trauma, through all the ass whoopings, through all the mama drama, through all the boyfriends, the mama boyfriends. Your sister's been there, so she knows and she can relate to you. I highly recommend, if it's not toxic, if your sister's not toxic, I highly recommend mending things with her. And you got this. And if you do like these videos, make sure to engage with this, and I will see you in the next one.